He doesn't deserve that luxury in our country.
Just trying to stay sucker free in a world full of lollipops. I'm seeing all the ops. Fake news, fake views. It's an illness, the cure to the sick shit. It's the pretty realist. Yeah.
What's good, family? Welcome to Pretty Realist. Thank y'all so much for joining. When it comes to this whole illegal immigration thing, the slaps on the wrist that they get is out of control. It's really hard for any logical person to understand how Democrats could go back and forth with conservatives about how they voted. But there was definitely a bill for illegal immigrants who harmed a child or a woman. They would be deported up out of here. This should be the last straw. It's damn near like you don't even know who you looking for anymore. And I feel bad for the Hispanic community. I feel bad for the Hispanics who actually did the right thing, or the ones who were born here in America. Go ahead, and I'm gonna let you all listen to this story, and then I'll be right back.
Working as a soccer coach in Los Angeles, now charged with murdering one of his players and sexually abusing two others. 13-year-old Oscar Hernandez disappeared after boarding a train to visit his soccer coach last month. His body was found on the side of the road last week. Former acting ICE director and former federal prosecutor Jonathan Fahey joins me now. Jonathan, it is an allegation so heinous, murder during the commission of a lewd act with a child, that this suspect could be charged with the death penalty or could face the death penalty. And yet Biden...
Get them the hell out of here. He doesn't deserve that luxury in our country. Like, abuse towards children has risen since 2017. It's out of control. Even just today, like almost 1.8 million followers and viewers. And they were like going on for like the last 4 years. You know how many children were probably abused within the last 4 years? Even know who they got teaching these kids. These teachers is out here having whole relationships and having babies. I've seen a situation in New Jersey where a teacher had a baby with a baby and didn't nobody know about it until the father seen the child. They were letting the little boy spend the night over the teacher's house and everything. Y'all be doing too much for me. My mama wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's truly shocking when you hear about the details of this. And what's particularly shocking, I was looking at some of Bill Malugion's reporting on this. He was known in 2022. There were allegations of sexually abusing a minor. And again, that wasn't enough to get him removed by the Biden administration. They weren't removing anyone until at least they were convicted of serious crime. So if their administration had been...
How is that not a serious crime? They didn't care anything about how the American people felt. They didn't care about the fact that we just had our whole country shut down. We were just getting on our feet, and they snatched the rug from underneath our feet as soon as they allowed those borders to be open. He didn't do anything. And it pisses me off when I see these judges that don't do anything either, because everybody is on Trump's ass about the policies that he's coming up with, about these executive orders. Nobody said anything when Biden was in office. Nobody did a thing. Nobody said, no, bro, you need to close that border now because it's going to be a shit show. Nobody said anything. They just let it go. Nobody said anything about how these people were getting all of these benefits, dangling it in front of American people's faces, because at that time, you remember that there was a lot of benefits that were given to American citizens, the rental assistance and the additional food stamps, as well as additional unemployment. Those things were getting cut away. They know, and they don't say anything about it. This immigrant situation has affected our housing market. It's affected our taxes. A lot of us are owing taxes for the first time in a long time because our cities put more effort into them than they put into the infrastructure, than they put into the schools, than they put into making sure that this drug issue has been resolved. Because Finney came into our lives and just ran them up. Biden dropped a shitload in our laps, and he just gets to run off into the sunset. And Trump is left cleaning it up. And I really hope that Democrats, I'm talking about the 99%, the group of Democrats that's within the 99% of this country, will eventually get to see their whole mission has always been to maintain power, even if it means breaking the law. And they got judges and city officials and state officials to help them do it.
top of their game, this guy could have at least been removed in 2022, and this crime would have never happened. But it just shows the difference between the Biden administration and the Trump administration on this issue, because the Trump administration is trying to keep the serious criminals out. The Biden administration was welcoming them in on these things like the CBP One app, putting them up in hotels, doing all these things to wine and dine them and make their stay here quite comfortable. And the Trump administration is doing its very best to get the most serious criminals out of the country and preventing new ones from coming in.
And that deterrent effect is already being seen at the southern border. The numbers are a pittance compared to what we saw over the course of the last 4 years under Joe.
We have judges that didn't want us to do it. We have judges that wanted the very evil gang members from Trendy, Iroquois, and MS-13. They didn't want them taken out of the country and put in very powerful prisons. But we've been fortunately winning those cases. But we have judges that are out of control that say, oh, bring them back, bring them back. We don't want them back. We don't want them back.
And what are you bringing them back to? And what are you bringing them back for? Get rid of the people who came over here within the last 4 years. Hopefully there's some way that they could track them, because we were doing fine with the immigrants that we had before 2022.
And look, this always came down to the president's right to enforce foreign policy, which this judge, Judge Boasberg, wrongfully tried to usurp. And Jonathan, the Supreme Court let him know it.
This win for the Trump administration on a couple of fronts. One, for judges as a whole, it basically puts them on notice that their role is to be judges, not to be the president, not to second guess foreign policy decisions. But the second part of it is even more important, because now it allows the Trump administration to remove these people, these gang members. Remember, these are Trendy Aragua members that the Biden administration welcomed in. We had never heard of this gang before the Biden administration. It allows them to remove them efficiently, and all they get is a hearing in district court at most, where they could challenge whether or not they're a member of the gang, which those are going to move very quickly, and they'll be efficiently removed from the country, much more so than under the normal immigration process and with less appeals. So this is a great win for the Trump administration. It will also further deter more people from coming in, because it shows the Trump administration is using every tool available to remove the most serious criminals from our country, which is going to be a tremendous deterrent, like I said, for the people trying to come in. Also, people here, it's going to put them on their very best behavior, because they don't want to be removed.
Get them gone. All of them. The ones that came within the last couple of years, I'm sure the rest of the Latino community that voted for Trump agrees. Get rid of them. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Because why are we even letting them stay? We're going to need those jobs to be unhanded, considering that we let go of all of these federal workers. So, hey, you got room. You move some people around and you bring some people in. Now it's time for us to start getting on these jobs that continue to hire them. They need to pay the price. Because, see, we could say all day long, oh, well, the immigrants are here stealing our jobs. They're not stealing nothing. They came over here for an opportunity. If a lot of us was in a position, most of us would have took it too. But ain't no other place greater than America in our eyes. But the fact of the matter is that we need to go after the people who are rewarding them for being over here. The jobs, the landlords, the governors, the mayors, the city officials. Those are the people that we need to go after. Not the migrants. I mean, yeah, you got to get rid of them too. But at the same time, they got an invitation. We need to find out who the sponsors are, who was going over to these countries and saying, hey, you know, if you come over here, we could give you a better life. We need to find out who gave them those phones with that app in there. You got to cut the head off the snake. Biden is gone. There ain't nothing y'all could do with him, because we want to see some bracelets on some criminals that are in suits and ties and sitting in the White House and sitting in Congress. It's time for the politicians to catch it just as much as the immigrants are. The Uno reverse card. I have nothing against immigration if it's done the right way. What you're not going to do, you're not going to come over here and act a fool and think that we're going to be okay with it, and think that our president, who's in the office right now, is going to give you an easy way out like Biden did. This ain't Biden's country, honey. Trump is your daddy. Don't shoot the messenger. Only receive the message. If it's for you, receive it. If it's not, leave it. Talk to you all soon. Make sure you all like, share, comment, and subscribe. And tell me, what do you think? Like, do you all have a immigrant problem going on in your own city? I would love to hear from you. Let's keep the conversation going down in the comment section, and I will see you all next time.
Just trying to stay sucker free in a world full of lollipops. I'm seeing all the ops. Fake news, fake views. It's an illness, the cure to the sick shit. It's the pretty realist.